Hi fam, how are you all doing? Welcome back again to my YouTube channel and welcome to this video. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for clicking to watch this video. Please don't make it your last time. Subscribe to the channel, also turn on your notification bell so that you get notified whenever I upload new videos. On this channel, I share my life experiences on issues pertaining to faith, lifestyle, majorly life in UK. I create memories and I share so many tips with you guys. I'm also a licensed social worker in the UK. So sometimes I also share tips around social work, just like this particular video. And to all my returning subscribers, I love you guys so much. Thank you for always coming back to watch my videos. This video was actually suggested by one of you. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, but I put one or two together and it sounds like Ako AYUK or something like that. In one of my videos, my last video, you actually left a comment and talked about how the last live I came when I shared some information or some tips for parents when it comes to the long holiday that just ended recently, and you said you enjoyed that video and also asked for tips from a social care point of view, things that parents should take note of. Because in that live video I mentioned it that when schools resume, the first 2-3 weeks after school resumption, we get a lot of referrals into social care from schools. So you asked that, I also film a video telling parents how to things that parents should be aware of even as school resumes. Thank you so much for that suggestion, and I must apologize that it took me this long to create this video, but at least finally it's here. I mean, school started officially yesterday, Tuesday, 3rd of September. Yeah, that was when schools officially started in the UK, or most schools. I don't know about every part of the United Kingdom, but I know in England teachers resumed on Monday, and yesterday being Tuesday, students went back to school. So it's kind of late, but it's not totally late. You can still take up some tips from here. So in this video, having said that, I just want to share with you guys some tips or things that I believe that parents should be aware of, especially parents of school-aged children, even as school resumes this September. And I'll be sharing all of these from a social worker's point of view. And a little disclaimer, everything I'll be sharing, they are just my opinion, okay? You can choose to take them on board or leave them. You may agree, you may disagree with some things, but I'm just sharing my opinion, and like I said, from a social worker's point of view. And without much ado, let's jump straight into it. So I've put down some things I believe that will help parents, or some information that you need to be aware of in this video. So if you see me looking down, just know that I'm looking at my notes basically. And I just want to start off with physical appearance. Yeah, that's one thing that you should be mindful of, okay? And let me just say this now that I remembered it. Sometimes, when referrals are made into social care, okay, maybe raising some concerns about parents or about some queries around your parenting or your parenting strategies, sometimes the truth is that it's not like you are a bad parent or intentionally being a bad parent. You're not intentionally being a bad parent. Yeah, sometimes we understand that, but you can't still fault the system for doing its job. So the system in the UK is wired this way, that once there are concerns, safeguarding concerns about a child, whether they are innocent mistake, whether done intentionally or unintentionally, everyone, because safeguarding is everyone's business, everyone, especially professionals, will need to raise these concerns with social care. So some things I'll be saying, it's not like I'm the best parent, okay, or I'm telling you how to raise your kids. These are things that you should know, but just see it as me reinforcing them. For instance, I was talking about physical appearance, okay? I'm just here to remind you, okay, that you should make sure that your kids have good uniform, neat uniforms, okay? You can go and buy them. Sometimes even charity shops, there are those that donate them free of charge. If you go, sometimes some shops have discount when it comes to school uniforms, especially now. So you can do that. There are always times when they are on sales, okay? You can always watch out for that, but make sure that your kids, that they go to school neatly dressed in appropriate school uniform. Very, very important. Also, be mindful of their haircut, be mindful of their hairstyles. If they are girls, make sure that you dress them neatly, basically. The only thing about this is you don't want to give teachers or school any reason for them to start looking closely to your kids. And that will bring me to the next point, which is good nutrition. Okay, make sure that your kids are well fed. Make sure they don't look malnourished. Okay, now why I say this is that you can't fault or you can't blame a teacher for noticing that a child is malnourished. In your own defense, it might be that this child doesn't eat but at least you should do something. Okay, but what I'm trying to say in essence is that sometimes I encourage parents not to even give professionals any reasons to put an eye on your child. I'll give you an example. Sometimes you can hear something like school saying that, oh, they felt that this family may be struggling. They felt that they didn't ask. Okay, maybe they gave you food parcel or gave your child free food or something like that. And then, they might clearly say that it's not like they asked us, but we felt it's needed. When that happens, you're already making the school become conscious, or they will now put their eyes on your kids about, oh, these kids don't look well fed. So there will be this unnecessary attention that they will draw. And in so doing, they might find one or two faults. You get it? So it's about you clearing the coast, not give them any reasons to believe that your kids are hungry, are not well fed, because when kids are not properly fed and everything I've talked about, physical appearance not looking good, they can be classed as neglect, and neglect is a safeguarding concern. Okay, make sure that you feed your kids, basically that their basic care needs are met. Okay, and make sure you do that basically. So give them enough food, make sure that you eat them, that you give them the food that they love. Okay, know your kids' favorite foods and all of that, and make sure that they eat. Sometimes you see some kids coming into school and telling their teacher, oh, I've not eaten. Sometimes parents say that it's a lie, that they ate. It's just because probably they like eating from school, or there is something that particular teacher gives them. Basic thing is about do your homekeeping very well and make sure that your kids don't have any reason to go into school and start saying, oh, because they are longer throat or something, and now they start saying, even if they do it, in your defense you might say that, and we can say, okay, yeah, kids are like that, but that has already given the professionals or the school the reason to be nosy and start looking into your kids. You don't want that. A very important one I will talk about now is that if there is any bruise or any mark on your child, please and please, when you drop off your child in school, please let the school be aware of it. If there is any bruising, if there is any mark on their body, probably when they were playing in the garden or somewhere, they sustained an injury, please flag it up. I'm also going to say, the truth is that sometimes kids can sustain certain injuries on their bodies and you don't even know about it. But the way the system is that professionals query everything they say. An example is, generally speaking, from social care point of view, when a mark is seen on a child, it raises safeguarding concerns, and we don't do it because we are not experts, we are not medical experts. We go for what we call child protection medical. So the doctors will do a body mapping, look at the child's body from head to toe, examining to see if there is any mark, and they will be noting it, they will be counting it, and all of that. From my experience, I've seen cases whereby doctors will be querying where a certain injury is. And when it's the parents will be there when they are doing this, and they'll come and ask the parent, okay, what happened to this child? There is a mark on their back or somewhere. And the parent will be like, I don't know, which is an honest answer. Sometimes you can be like, the question is, do you really know everything that happens, like every injury, every mark on your child's body? Sometimes these are things that make me like stand on my feet as a parent, that I need to be accountable. That's what the system requires from you, accountability. And the fact that it's unexplained, then the doctors will start querying, this is not accidental, this is no, it's not an accidental, because parents could not explain. They say it's unexplained injury and they cannot rule out that it's accidental, and then it starts raising some worries. I'm telling you what I've seen in my years of experience as a social worker in this country. That's just how the system is. Okay, so you want to make sure that any injury, if you bathe your kids, if anything happened to them, you see any mark, please don't take it for granted. Ask them what happened to you there. Most times some kids, might know what happened to them and when they sustained that injury. Just take note of it in case if anything happens at all, because a child might go to the hospital for a child protection medical for one mark. From there, like I said, they will do body mapping and check the whole body. They will see more injuries, they will see more bruises, and they will see more marks or something, and they will ask you as the parent what happened. They will also ask the child anyways. Okay, so it's just the expectation is so much of parents in this country, I must tell you. That's what this job has made me realize. And you just have to be on top of the game, which is why it's important that you listen to or you watch videos like this. Very, very important. So if your child sustained any injury when they were playing or anything, the very next day you drop them, please tell the teacher, oh, there is this bruise on the body. Why I said you should say it yourself is that some things happen. If they now see it, you never reported it to them, they will now call the child. They start suspecting, especially if you're an immigrant or you are from African heritage, because generally there is this unconscious bias that all Africans discipline their kids using physical chastisement. So I usually say you are a suspect waiting to happen, like you are just a suspect by virtue of being African, because there is that stereotype or that bias generally that this is how Africans discipline their kids. And when they see, they will have to call the child, oh, what happened to you? And sometimes these professionals, they are just doing their job and they are innocently, they just want to know what happened to a child, because that injury could have been during their playtime. They just need to know, you get it? And they're asking, oh, what happened to you there? And let me tell you, sometimes some kids, what they say from their mouth, like you'll be wondering, where did that come from? It's not really what happened, and they were not intending to lie, but probably because of circumstances surrounding it, and some of you, the kind of things you say to your kids, once the teacher asks them, they won't even know what they will say. They will not even know what will come out of their mouth. They might just say anything, and whatever they say becomes suspicious, and they start calling and then report to social care. But if they are aware that this is what happened, obviously you should have that conversation. Like if your child sustained an injury, you should be like, oh, look what you are doing. I'm going to let your school know about this so that they are aware. It's not like that you just say it casually, so that the child is also aware that this is what happened, so that no matter the circumstances, that the child will not say something that didn't happen. Do you get my point? So just make sure. This is very, very important. I've seen this happen a lot of times where parents are just in a situation because they couldn't explain an injury or a mark or a bruise on the body of their child, and it gets to what it shouldn't have been. But sometimes you can't just know. That's the thing, but try as much as possible to know. The next point I want to make is, please be your children's friend. Be your child's friend. Talk to your kids. You should have a very loving relationship with your kids. Very, very important. You should be able to talk to your kids. Okay, have conversations with them before school and after school. Let them come back. Ask them what happened. Be that parent that your child can come and walk up to and tell you, their problem or something. This will really, really help you, because it helps you to know what is in your child's mind. Because I've said it so many times on this channel when I film videos like this, that what usually happens is that kids are boxing up so many emotions or so many thoughts in their head, and when a teacher or any professional gives them an opportunity, they'll just be like an explosion. Boom! Everything in their mind, everything in their hearts that they've been keeping to themselves, they've not been able to express to any adult, that's an opportunity for them to express it. Even as a youth teacher in my church, there are some things that maybe we're having casual conversation, and because I like having chats and conversation with them, you hear them say certain things. And I'll just be like, oh my gosh, imagine if this child said this to a teacher. They might not really understand. Do you get? Because I'm African and I understand what African home is like. But the way they say, the way they come across, because that's an opportunity for them to express themselves, because I love having this kind of conversations with them. And let me tell you, if they go to school and say those kind of things, it already raises a safeguarding concern. So try and talk to your friends. Your friends, your kids, try and make them find you, they should be open. They should talk to you, because it's an opportunity. Okay, whenever they see an adult, especially younger kids, let me tell you, especially younger kids, it should just be an opportunity. The teacher will just be like, and sometimes all of this, the setting that they do it is very, very, sometimes they will be drawing. If you want to do direct work with kids, we are drawing, we are painting, and just having normal chats with them. And you just see these kids, what they will start saying. Me personally, I will just know that sometimes these kids don't have this kind of conversation or this kind of relationship with their parents. It's in a very child-friendly atmosphere. They're not even thinking that they are reporting their parent to. I'm telling you the fact. It will just be very cordial, just smooth. It's not like, hey, tell me what happened. And it's no, not an, we don't interrogate kids. We play with them. They might even will bring so many. We have tools. You go there, they are drawing, they are painting, and we are having a chat. Yeah. Do you know that? Oh, did you go to the park? Oh, I watched. It's just casual. And in that moment, kids say certain things. They explode. They talk about how they feel about certain things. And you find out that sometimes these kids, you know, some of the things they are saying, if they had shared it wouldn't have come out that way. So please talk to your kids, be your kids' friend. The last point I want to make in this video, so that this video will not be unnecessarily too long, is that you should please engage well with school. Engage well with your child's school. Some people don't even acknowledge emails. They don't go for parents' evening. They don't go for any meeting that the school calls them. They are just too busy with work. Please change that attitude. Try and engage well, very well with the school. They should know you, such that if they are asked a question about you, they will give a very good report about you. Okay, don't be too distant. Be involved and engage very well with them. Very, very important. You know, we are talking about probably referrals coming from school, but let me tell you, referrals can come from anywhere. It can come from GP, it can come from midwife, it can come from police, it can come from a neighbor or whatever. And as a social worker, when you are completing an assessment or dealing with any referral, we would definitely speak with school if those children are in school, because we believe that most times schools spend more time with certain kids even than the kids spend with their parents. Okay, and of course we know that they have close contact. I mean, Monday to Friday they are with the kids, they see them. So when we are doing an assessment, it's holistic. We would definitely speak with school, and depending on what the referral, it might be malicious referral from your neighbor. Let me tell you, what the school of your child or your children say goes a long way to either know that, okay, this is not serious. If they just give a good report, it can be something as simple as, we've never had any concerns about this child. We have never. Parents are always this, parents are always this, parents are always this. For me as a social worker, hearing that from school is a good, like, what do I call it now? But it speaks so well of you as a parent. If a school say, oh, we've never had this concern, she's always this, he's always this, he's always this, we never had, the parents are this, the parents are that. Okay, so you want to have that good relationship with your child's school. Be involved, go to parents' evening, ask questions. Okay, always speak with them, raise any worries you have about your child. Even if your child refuses to eat, probably you have a picky eater, your child doesn't eat a lot, and you try to eat, go ahead and let them know in school. I said, oh, this morning he didn't have breakfast, he refused to have breakfast, I have tried. And you on your own part, you can just package something and say, anyways, there's sandwich in his bag just in case he wants to eat. That's an effort you are making, because the system here is so rigid with certain things that they say, so rigid, and the expectations are so high. Okay, and you as a parent, you just need to be on top of your game just to avoid all these unnecessary dramas. Let me tell you, social care involvement might not lead to anywhere. I know people usually get worried about their kids being removed. That's usually far from it. Okay, most referrals to social care don't end in removal of children. But what I always say is that you don't want to have that experience, and you don't want your kids having that experience of strangers, random people coming to meet them in school or coming to them at home and having to speak with them or ask them questions. You don't even want to have that. That is why it's better you prevent it happening at all, the best way you can. Sometimes you can't avoid it. It can just be a malicious neighbor, someone that doesn't like you. It can just be anything that happens, okay? But as much as possible, be on top of your game and try to avoid social services involvement. And I believe that you found this video helpful. Please, if you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It goes a long way so that YouTube can recommend it to more people. Share this video with as many people that you think will benefit from it. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not. Are there any more topics you would like me to bring on board on this channel? Please feel free to let me know in the comment section, and I'll be seeing you guys in my next one. Until then, stay blessed, remain intentional, and take very good care of yourselves. Bye.